Welcome to Star Citizen. So I played through the tutorial to see how much information is left out, because this game is huge. There is just so much information that most likely will be left out and was left out. Actually, the first problem I had was the tutorial told me to exit the bed while I pretty much spawned in the bed and teleported out of it instantly. So if this happens, I guess you can lie back down or sit back down and then get out of the bed. Now, I do have the hints disabled, but I think it would also be nice to point out here that we should use the Y key to exit the bed, or introduce the Y key as general in exiting seats, beds and everything else that you may strap yourself into. Now then, check your journal. This also could have probably given me another hint of pressing F1 and selecting journal from the minor tabs below. Then it was also eat and drink. Although we do have the scheme now on the right, I wish that it would specify more, like hold down F key to look around, to interact with objects and pick them up and drink them. And perhaps even tell that drinking you need to, well, hold down the mouse key. Because a new player might just think that you grab it and that's done. I do like leave the tab as I can interact with this, and once again I wish it would encourage players or tell players a bit more, like how do you interact with objects, as F key is your bread and butter, and I think that should be the first thing to learn, even when calling an elevator and things like that. Perhaps in this elevator, one other important thing that is actually scrolling down between floors, as this is also a feature and it should be notified to the players that you can just scroll down. If you don't find the floor you're looking for, you can scroll down. It's also important when trying to visit the hangar or hab of your ship. Once outside, it suggests looking at the map. Actually, there's a lot more signs than just this one big map that is passing out. It should pretty much teach new players that there are signs everywhere, and you should always look for them if you're looking for locations, specific places to go, as there is a lot of information on perhaps even the walls. The shops have signs, and of course it tells us to go and buy, or tells us to go to the store. Doesn't tell us to buy anything, but I think this would be a great time to tell us to buy a helmet, as our setup or getup is missing a helmet at this given moment, just like this guy. Instead, we are just to interact with this store or this terminal to buy, checkout, or whatever else there is. Just use it for a brief moment. Once that is done, it guides us actually pretty nicely towards the tram station where we can go towards our ship, which will be our next lesson. I think there might be some more hints nested into this specific guide tutorial, but I have them turned off so I cannot see them. I wish it would explain a lot, like you can sit down on the chairs, you can sit down inside the tram, there is timers up there, it shows you when the tram arrives and all the other little things. I do like that once you reach the terminal, it tells you pretty much go straight, go there, you need to make your way there, although it perhaps could use more checkpoints on the way, but then again it's pretty straightforward and it does tell you pretty much straight away you should go there, interact with these terminals, and once again perhaps tell you don't forget the F key, or don't forget to use it as it is your main interaction key. Once there, of course, you're gonna deliver the vehicle and retrieve it. Deliver is quite simple. It delivers the vehicle to its first spawn point, which at this moment is, of course, this ArcCorp. First time for any vehicle, it takes 20 seconds. When reclaiming it, it can vary depending on the size of your ship and what type of ship it is. Other than that, you need to wait this and then just retrieve it. I do kind of dislike that it doesn't tell you like here are the elevators, go press on them and try to go for the hangar that has been listed. You don't need to remember the hangar, as the ship is the little arrow behind me. It will also show you the number of the hangar it is stored in, or pad, or wherever it is stored. Now once again in this elevator I suggest scrolling down if you don't find the hangar or hab where your ship is stored, as scrolling down can be important with these little elevator pads. Once you get to your ship, you don't really need a guide to tell you how to get in, as the ship will usually have a notification somewhere there, the circle with a dot in it. You can just hold the F key, press on that, as it is quite simple and straightforward, it always helps. Now if you do want, you can also close the door. You just need to find the, well, correct pad once again, and the door will be closed. And once again, you can prepare for takeoff, sitting yourself down, holding the F key, and then you actually do need to turn on the ship, as everything in the ship is off. The UI and the engines. In general, the U key can work for this, or you can hold down F and look for flight ready. Flight ready will perform the same things as the U key, which is user interface and engines, while the I key is just for the engines. If you want, you can turn them off. Now it tells us to prepare for takeoff. We can prepare for takeoff, we are pretty much ready for takeoff, but we do need to contact the landing services. And this, I fear, is quite an important point. They forgot that you do need to contact the landing service. You can actually bind a key for requesting to land or requesting to take off. But you can also press F1, interact with the comms link, press for friends, and you should have landing service there. Area 18 landing service. You just click on it and it will start hailing the landing services, which will give you permission to take off, and the doors above should start opening. I feel like there is a step missing somewhere between there and here, and what you're seeing up front is actually a piece of debris, and the ship has discovered something. It's probably an older ship, like RSI Aurora MR, which was destroyed. So we just need to fly out. Now on the right we do have some of these controls told us as well when we're in the first person, but I feel like they could tell us the N key is for landing gear, K is for thrusters to swap on certain ships, it doesn't work for all, L is for lights and other simple things like that. And well, actually even the use scroll to increase our possible maximum speed. As the scroll increases how fast the ship can go. You can either pull it to another stop or you can put it towards a maximum speed. Also C for cruise control, which you should never forget on. Other than that, there's a bunch of checkpoints and then we can go off to quantum travel. Now I could point out that we need to be at a certain height from the ground to actually use the quantum travel, as being quite low to the ground, quantum travel does not work. It could also specify us how it works, because the B key, it activates the quantum drive, it activates the spooling and calibration, which both need to reach 100%, while aiming at the location you wish to travel. Once that is done, you hold down the B key for a couple of seconds until the quantum travel starts. I feel like they could tell us here to use the world map and actually set up a point to which to travel to, so no other locations you could quantum travel to would appear. Once you get close enough, it will tell you to land once again, but you should once again contact the landing services to request for landing, so you get a hangar or a bay where you can land. And once we've done it, it will tell us to store our ship. So this means exiting the ship. You can turn it off or leave it on, it doesn't really matter. You just need to exit it, make your way to the elevator, go to the ship terminals and well, store it there. Now storing it means you can request it from this specific location if you visit it. You can also have to reclaim that other location so you can have it spawn there, but it will take some time to reclaim it. I do wish they could have shown a little bit of ship combat and perhaps shown how to repair your ship once you are at the hangar. Other than that, this was quite straightforward and very simple tutorial. I guess it could have also talked about the medbeds and actually have you visit one at this orbital station, but there is just so much information to take in for the first time, so perhaps it's not too bad, although there are some bits and pieces missing that might help new players along the way. But I would say it still needs improvement, as there are some key fragments of information missing. Anyway, thanks for watching.